Larry Fink, it's all about to begin. What if the entire financial system you've trusted your whole life is quietly preparing for a reset? Not a crash. Not a recession. A reset. And what if one of the most powerful men in finance, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, has already seen it coming? We're not talking about millions. We're not even talking about billions. We're talking about $37 trillion. A number so massive, it's almost impossible to comprehend. But here's the real question. Is this money about to move into crypto and change everything? Because if it is, the opportunity and the risk could be unlike anything we've ever seen before. There's a growing whisper in the financial world. A quiet shift happening behind closed doors. Institutions that once dismissed crypto are now embracing it. Governments that once feared it are now regulating it. And giants like BlackRock are no longer watching from the sidelines, they're stepping onto the field. So, what's really going on? Is this just another hype cycle? Or are we witnessing the early stages of a massive financial transformation? In this video, you'll discover what a $37 trillion reset could actually mean, why crypto might be at the center of it, and what this could mean for the future of money itself. Because once you see the full picture, you might never look at the financial system the same way again. To understand what's happening today, we need to go back. Not years. Decades. For most of modern history, wealth has flowed through traditional systems, banks, stocks, bonds, and government-backed currencies. At the center of it all is trust. Trust in institutions. Trust in governments. Trust in the idea that the dollar in your hand will still hold value tomorrow. But over time, cracks began to appear. Inflation started rising. Debt levels exploded. Central banks printed more money than ever before. And slowly, something changed. People started asking questions. What is money, really? Who controls it? And what happens when that control starts to slip? That's where crypto entered the picture. At first, it was dismissed as a niche experiment. Then a speculative bubble. Then a threat. But now, it's something else entirely. Something institutions can no longer ignore. And when companies like BlackRock begin to move, the world pays attention. Here's where things start to get interesting. Larry Fink wasn't always a supporter of crypto. In fact, like many traditional finance leaders, he was once skeptical. But over time, his tone changed. Dramatically. He began talking about tokenization, the idea that real-world assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate could be represented on blockchain networks. Think about that for a second. Not just digital currencies, but entire financial systems rebuilt on blockchain. And that's where the $37 trillion number comes into play. Because that figure represents a massive portion of global assets, assets that could potentially be digitized, tokenized, and moved into a new financial infrastructure. But here's the key insight. This isn't about replacing the system overnight. It's about upgrading it. Quietly. Gradually. Until one day, the old system simply fades away. But here's the twist most people don't see coming. This crypto reset may not look like the revolution many early adopters imagined. It's not chaos. It's not governments losing control. It's the opposite. Institutions are stepping in. Wall Street is entering the space. And instead of fighting crypto, they're reshaping it. BlackRock launching crypto-related products. Major banks exploring blockchain settlements. Governments discussing central bank digital currencies. This isn't rebellion. It's integration. And that changes everything. Because the same system that crypto was designed to disrupt might now be the one driving its next phase of growth. So, what does a $37 trillion reset actually mean? Let's break it down simply. Right now, most assets exist in fragmented systems. Stocks are traded on exchanges. Bonds are issued through institutions. Real estate transactions take weeks or months to settle. Everything is slow, complex, and filled with middlemen. But blockchain changes that. It allows assets to exist on a single, unified digital ledger. Transparent. Instant. Programmable. Imagine buying a fraction of a building across the world in seconds. Imagine stocks settling instantly instead of days. Imagine financial contracts executing automatically without intermediaries. That's tokenization. And if even a fraction of global assets move into this system, we're talking about trillions of dollars flowing into blockchain networks. That's where the $37 trillion idea comes from. Not a sudden transfer, but a gradual migration from old systems to new ones. And here's why that matters. When capital moves, value follows. And when value flows into a new system, it doesn't just change prices. It changes power. Because whoever controls the infrastructure controls the future of finance. But before these start sounding like a guaranteed opportunity, let's slow down. Because every major shift comes with risks. First, regulation. Governments are not going to give up control easily. As crypto becomes more integrated into the financial system, regulations will tighten. Some projects will thrive. Others will disappear. Second, centralization. If large institutions dominate crypto, does it still represent the same vision it started with? Or does it become just another version of the existing system? Third, volatility. Even if the long-term trend is upward, the path will not be smooth. Markets will rise. Markets will crash. And those who don't understand the bigger picture may get shaken out along the way. And finally, there's the biggest risk of all. Misinterpretation. Because not every headline is reality. Not every prediction comes true. And not every reset happens the way people expect. So where does that leave us? At a crossroads. On one side, the old financial system. Familiar. Established. But increasingly strained. On the other side, a new digital infrastructure. Faster. More efficient. Still evolving. And somewhere in between, a transition. Quiet. Gradual. But potentially massive. The idea of a $37 trillion shift isn't just about money. It's about transformation. About how value is stored. How it's transferred. And who controls it. And maybe the real question isn't whether a reset is coming, but whether it's already begun. Because by the time it becomes obvious, it may already be too late to react. The only thing left is to understand it. Thank you and subscribe now.